Governor Brian Kemp is set to sign a new executive order tomorrow with COVID-19 restrictions. It is not expected to include a statewide mask mandate like a White House task force is reportedly asking.
But it could give cities and counties more freedom to implement their own policies. Here's Joe Henke to explain.
A White House coronavirus task force urging Georgia to issue a statewide mask mandate after a rise in cases over the last month. That's according to the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, which says it got a copy of a leaked report dated August 9th from a source. The White House report describes the virus in Georgia as widespread and expanding community viral spread. And the task force in the report makes several recommendations, including strongly recommending a statewide mask mandate, recommending closing businesses such as nightclubs, bars, and gyms in high-risk counties, and further ramping up testing and contact tracing. A spokesman for the governor sent 11 Alive an emailed statement when asked about the leak report. It reads, Governor Kemp continues to rely on data, science, and the public health advice of Dr. Toomey and her team in our state's ongoing battle against COVID-19. As the governor has said many times before, this fight is about protecting the lives and livelihoods of all Georgians. Governor Kemp's office on Thursday confirmed he is expected to sign a new COVID-19 executive order on Saturday as a previous order with restrictions expires. But the new one is not expected to mandate masks statewide, despite the federal recommendation. State officials telling 11 Alive the order will likely allow cities and counties to make mandates, but limit those mandates to government property. That would allow private businesses to still choose whether they want to implement their own mask policy or not.